A new 9th Age battle between ogre kingdoms and sylvan elves. It's a marching column deployment and a capture the flag objective. The ogres have a lot of scoring units. All their ogres are scoring. They drop everything on their 4th drop and take the first turn here. They choose to make the blade dancers on the sylvan elf side scoring. They're facing the wrong... No, they're facing forwards right here. And the sylvan elves are cooped up in a corner. The ogres chose to hold back on their main blocks to advance and catch up with their flank. And they got off the bound spell, Chilling Howl, so all the wood elf archers will have -1 to wound, and a totemic summon arrived behind their lines. A good start for the ogres. The sylvan elves turn around to shoot down the summoned beast. They shoot it down with a magic missile and the archer arrows. The blade dancers, however, were also ready. And the avatar is ready to face the ambushers. Now turn 2 for the ogres. One of the 2 ambushers arrive. The ogres have another good round, getting Chilling Howl off again and break the spirit on the archers. So the sylvan archers once again have -1 to wound this round. However, the bombardiers keep shooting through the forest, which was magically moved, and they miss on every wound on the tree-man avatar. So he hasn't taken a wound yet, even though they're shooting for 2 rounds on him. Now sylvan elves turn 2. The sylvan elves turn around to face the main force again. The one ambusher is down to 1 wound left, but it kills 3 blade dancers ambushing into the battlefield. And the general, the tree man, with divination magic, charges into the shaman's unit of ogres, and it does 2 wounds with a crush attack on the shaman, and loses the combat by 1. But it stands stubborn and releases out the forest. And then after the combat, it reforms to show its flank. If it can manage its test. So now it's more than 50% within the forest. The treeman wants back to the forest. And now turn 3 for the ogres, who are closing in soon. The avatar of nature charged into the mercenaries, killing the champion in a duel with 4 wounds. The other Treefather, however, lost 3 wounds and is down to 1 now, against the normal ogres. The blade dancers charging this ambushing troll kind of figure. His personality is not that bad, but he lost 1 wound and killed 1 blade dancer. And the archers with the pathfinders shot down 2 of the ogres with great weapons. And the dryads turned around to face the dogs. Now turn 4 for the ogres. The divination Treefather didn't lose his last wound, but despite being cold-blooded, he fled from the combat and was chased down by the ogres. The avatar of nature made his revenge by killing the BSB, doing 4 wounds as the BSB refused the challenge and not losing any wounds himself. 1 blade dancer fell as they danced the dance of ward save against the ambushing ogre. And a totemic summon appears on the table, doing a breath attack on the archers, making them flee. So now round 4 for the sylvan elves. The avatar of nature lost 1 wound, and did 4 in return. However, the Sylvan Elf player did rally his archers, but made a huge mistake in not reforming them into ranks, so they'll lose against the ogres here, who got a couple of ogres shot off, but that's far from enough. The ambusher here is down to 1 wound remaining. Other than that, the dryads marched up to avoid a charge in both the rear and the front. And now turn 5 for the ogres. The kestrels failed their second charge against these guys, who fled away from them, and that's that. The archers were charged, they fled, but were caught by the ogres. The last blade dancers fled after losing combat by 2. And over here the lead belcher shot down 4 dryads, and the avatar lost 3 wounds, so he's down to 1 wound. However, the frost mammoth charged in through the 2 forests, taking 1 wound in dangerous terrain, and bringing its aura of frost. Everything beat down on the avatar, but the avatar with 1 wound killed the last 2 wounds of the frost mammoth. So it was a useless charge. Now turn 5 for the Sylvan Elves.
Men det er 5 stykker fra første rekka.
It looks like the avatar will fall on turn 5. It has 5 wounds against it from the mercenaries, and it only has 1 wound left. However, in the Sylvan Elf turn 5, which is the bottom of turn 5, the sentinels shot down a couple of ogres, and the ogres with the shaman general fled almost off the table. The dryads, in a combo with the kestral knights, charged the dogs and did 5 wounds, losing 3 dryads, pursued them and caught them in pursuit, and the kestrels overran into these ogres there. There are some fleeing ogres on the side, and, well, let's see if the avatar dies now. Both the fleeing units of ogres rallied. However, the kestrels won the combat against the blasters that they overran into. The shooting ogres fled and were charged in the last round by the kestral knights and destroyed. The dryads were charged here by the mercenaries and killed. Then the sentinels moved up to shoot down 4 wounds of the ogre boss there, but that's not enough to cause a panic. So the ogres win the objective, and they win largely by points as well. At the initial deployment of the battle, the Sylvan player saw an option of deploying everything on this flank, with the advantage of having the ogre bosses on the other far side of the impassable terrain, but that would have made for a very boring battle.